Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and welcome to another show. What's the matter, Alan?
Oh, just getting Shammy to tweak me line there a bit.
That time of day?
No, just turn it, not in and out. There we go. That's the spot. Thanks, mate.
Right.
Welcome.
Show's off to a great start.
Well,
At least my mic's working this week.
didn't even get a minute in.
No.
Now, we do have a special guest in tonight. Captain Goldie.
G'day everyone, that's me.
Now, bit of background. So I ran into you, I think I actually spoke about you when I ran into you up at, on the way up the coast.
Yeah.
You do quite a fair few tournaments.
Some would say too many. Of course, my partner would say too many.
Yeah.
I fish the Australian Bass Tournament full circuit scene, so that's 6 rounds throughout the east coast of Australia. We've got 2 rounds in Queensland, 2 in New South Wales, 2 in Victoria, and then there's the Oz Open as well. This year it's up at the Clarence River, so fair bit of travelling in that just alone.
Yeah. So we'll cover a few. Oh, if anyone wants to text in any questions while we got you in tonight, they want to know anything, but we'll cover most of it tonight, I reckon.
Yeah.
Reasonable questions too. You know our listeners.
Thank you for clarifying that. Yeah.
And it is Australia Day.
Happy Australia Day.
And I reckon there could be a few a few rum cans in today.
Yeah,
A couple of black rats, you reckon?
Well, yeah. I'd hate to see Brownie today.
I hope he's got no credit.
No, where'd he go? Old Man Creek.
He'll be drunk next to Old Man Creek.
Oh, yeah.
No. Happy Australia Day, since no other radio station's saying it.
Yeah, we
it's
should
a
say it.
bit sad, but I'll put a post up today in my views on it. But
I'm not allowed to say my views. These people get all offensive in here.
Yes.
Mainly the people behind the counter
Yes.
when I...
Be quiet.
Oh, can I talk about the Jehovah's Witness that come and see me this week?
No. Because that leads to your God story. No.
I hate you. What's the point of me having crazy experiences through the week when you won't let me tell them on the radio?
So, Alan, how'd you go on the weekend? Did you take the boys out for a fish?
I did.
How'd you go?
The boys got a little ready each.
That's all right.
We were there.
I think
Yeah, you might have went another time, you clown.
he's trying to defer from you. People
Just get on Facebook and tell me God's story.
can do that.
You can do that.
And I'll put it on your page.
So, yeah, a couple of little ones for the boys. Nothing for me. Standard. Actually, I should get most consistent. Not catching anything. Pretty good at it.
Oh, no, I think that goes to Donk, doesn't it?
You got a couple, didn't you?
No.
I dropped a couple.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Dropped
that's
a stonker.
Oh, I don't know about a stonker. I dropped one today too, didn't I? I might need to sharpen my hooks. I might have to go through my hooks and make sure you haven't knocked the tips off them.
You stop
take
being
the little plastic ends off.
No, that keeps them so you don't blunt them.
I've done that before.
to say you start using hooks, not sharpened nails, mate.
Yeah. I'm on a budget, Alan. I like to rip the tops off Coke cans and make hooks out of them.
Oh,
That's all I can afford on my pension here.
The Upper Murray Stranglers put up a post.
Oh, is he?
Peekaboo, he must be
Oh,
listening.
jeez. I won't answer.
Well. So you fished on the weekend, Corey?
No, I was
No?
away
Right.
at Blue Rock for the Central Victorian Lurecasters last weekend.
Yeah.
I tend not to do too much fishing in between tournaments because then I would be divorced. So I don't do a lot of social fishing these days anymore. And but I was headed down to Blue Rock 2 weeks ago for the Central Vic Lurecasters. Very enjoyable weekend. They run a really good show. It was about 100 anglers. I think it was 90 adults and 10 juniors. So big turn up.
Oh, nice. Oh, good. That's the Victorian casting, did you say?
Yeah, Central Victorian
Central
Lurecasters.
Victorian casting,
Yep. They do a great job. It's sort of a intermediate, a bit of a family, bit of a get-together, one day, have a few beers, presentation Saturday night, and then if you want to, what we call pro up or cash up and pay $20. Everyone that wants to go out the next day pays $20 and the winner takes all. So,
yes, they have a good cash prize there sometimes.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. So it's a selective payment. I'll just keep me $20 in my pocket.
Yeah, a lot of people do. Obviously, we had 100 people on the Saturday, and I think there was 25 on the Sunday. So
Yeah.
the guys at Cordon went back out and tried to win the cash pool.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah? Sounds all right.
Yeah, well, they have heaps of those, don't they?
Yeah, they're all over the place. If you just jump onto Facebook, it is Central Victorian Lure-casters. It's got all the dates. They've now got a website, so you can actually enter online, find out when all the dates are.
Oh, that's good.
They go, as the name says, they go all around Victoria, so Central Victoria. They've got rounds at Mathara, Eildon, Bundalong, Epilock. So they're all over the place. I've been trying to get them to come up to Hume for 2 or 3 years now, but I think it's just the accommodation near the dam is what they're trying to get their hands on. Myself running a caravan park, I'm trying to get them into my park, but we're 25 k's away from the dam, so it doesn't sort of suit.
Yeah. Yeah. And
Feel free to plug your business, mate. We don't mind.
Yeah, that's all good.
Yeah.
We're doing a caravan and cabin park. Yeah.
Oh, yeah? Just if anyone wants to pop over.
You can call in and say good day.
mention you were listening on the radio, you get a big discount.
Yeah, that's it.
Put in the back corner.
like if you catch a metre, he give you your money back.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, we're selling lures. This bloke handing out lures said, oh, yeah, if you catch a metre tomorrow and bring a photo in on the mat, we'll give you your money back. Oh, we'll give the money back? What do we take? I'm not paying you to be here.
Sold you some lures though, didn't I?
Yeah. Bloke told him what he was catching them on, and he's like, oh yeah, this bloke came over forward, told him he was getting on that, so I sold them all to him, and I'm like, that wasn't the one he was catching them on, it was the other one beside it. Oh, well, they're all gone now. Good salesman.
Yeah, well, what do they say? Lures catch more fishermen than fish, don't they?
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, you should see my warehouse. More than, I just got to get rid of some gear before Mum and Dad come home. Otherwise I'll be in some serious trouble. They see how much stuff's there, they're going to go ropeable.
Oh.
The joys, they won't be home for a
Just
while.
put a false wall in or something.
Put some cars in front of it so they can't see
Need
it.
a big wall.
Yeah. Yeah, they'll spot that.
I think they will.
I could hide it inside the wall, inside the spray booth, and say, oh, it's not running properly. Just black the windows out. Get one of those, what's those 3D images where you walk past the window, it looks like something's in there? I'll just do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, well.
yeah.
Well, we went down to, where we go today? Mungab. It's a bit hairy down there. Bellied the boat.
Yeah, someone had to get out in the river and drag the boat back into deeper waters.
Into deeper water. That's
Yeah.
shallow.
Oh, yeah.
If you know where you're going, it's probably
we're right in
deeper
the middle
on
of the river.
I don't know where all this gravel's come from, but it's, I reckon, up towards the wall must be squeaky clean.
Yeah.
There's so much sand and gravel down there, it's ridiculous.
And I was down at Kramer Street earlier this week, and same thing, going down the middle of the river, it looked deep. Then next minute, geez, it's 300 mil here. I was out in the middle of the river, I was talking to some other blokes that were fishing, and they said, yeah, that's silted up a lot since the floods. Because they said that you just go straight down the middle there if they had an issue. And
Well, when I got out, the boat come up a fair bit. It was managed
still wasn't floating.
No.
She was still sitting on the rocks.
Yeah, it was only in one corner, though.
Yeah, righto.
I walked into that one.
Yeah. But, yeah, got a good yellow today, so
Yeah, water was quite fresh this morning, too, down the river.
it was nice.
There's a lot of people down there.
Holy dooly, wasn't there?
Yeah, I'd be interested to see how many left to how many arrived.
The one thing, though, that we did notice was there was one group, well, there'd be 10 or 15 of them tied together, all lilos and stuff
Pools
like
and
that,
stuff like that.
and cans and stubbies all around them.
Yep.
Just floating down the river. They're just sinking their tins and just throwing them over the shoulder.
Drinking JDs, too. It was only
10 o'clock, 9:30, 10 o'clock.
10 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, right.
On the JDs, and they were already full noise.
Yeah.
You're just watching them going, is it absolute grots.
Yep.
You know, just throwing all their shit in the river was, I thought it was pretty ordinary myself, but they were having a good time. But
Well, the lady, we ran into a couple that had been doing it for, what, 7 years she'd been doing it for?
Yeah,
They've
something
been
like
doing
that.
it for her and her husband and kids and that. They float down. She says, oh, what's going on? Is there a comp on this weekend? No. She's like, oh, I've never seen so many boats down here fishing. Yeah, COVID. Everyone went and bought a
Everyone
boat.
bought a boat or a caravan.
Yeah. Yeah, so there was, what did we run into? Kane, wasn't it? Kane and his young bloke and mate.
Yeah.
Who was his... I can't remember who his buddy dad was now. Dad's a listener here. He used to ring in. I can't remember what his buddy... Anyhow, they were just using cheese. They were doing all right.
Yeah.
We went up beside them, and Chammy's like, it's a big one underneath your boat. I just kept snapping them off. He said he couldn't get it to Buddy come up.
He's like, where is it? I said, it's 9 metres from here, that way. So it'll be pretty much straight under the back corner of your boat.
Plunk.
So, yeah, it's pretty... Yeah, I've seen a few getting around there today, but...
You got live view on that in yours, Corey?
Yeah.
What do you reckon?
Yeah, look, it's...
Frustrating?
Yeah, it is. It is frustrating. I've learnt a hell of a lot from it. Really, really learnt a hell of a lot from it. There's some old theories that I stuck true to for years that have just been blown completely out of the water.
That cod sit in a hole and don't move.
Yeah, and kind of slow.
Yeah.
Sometimes you cannot keep... When they're swimming through, even at Moala in the main bay where everyone goes scoping them, you cannot keep up to them on the scope. They swim through that quick.
Yeah.
And, we always used to pause a lure all of the time for cod. It was a slow roll and a pause. And you do that and watch them on the live scope, they just swim away from it.
Yeah.
Actually speeding it up is better.
Yeah.
So in that sense, learned a hell of a lot. For tournament fishing, it's been a big thing. You can break down a dam a lot quicker on a pre-fish day. You can work out what colours are working, what depths they're in, that sort of thing, which is good. But the controversy on the other side of it is, the sunburnt neck, the sore neck from staring at the screen all day, and it's quite boring.
Hunchback and Nostradamus.
Yeah. So I can see both sides of it, but as a learning thing, I've learned some stuff from it.
Yeah. We've learnt bloody heaps. Just the movement.
Mm-hmm. And they don't... there's quite often 2 of them or 3 of them swimming around, and some decent sized ones too. They're not They're not like... What is it? They all sit by themselves in a hole, and that's about it under a log.
That, weren't we? The one fish on one snag. They're very territorial. They stick together.
Oh, they don't move around.
Yeah. That's just gone.
Yeah.
And you talk to guys that have sort of kept that secret. Guys like Rod McKenzie have kept that secret for years. That he knew that big cod hung around on the one structure altogether.
Yeah.
And, he didn't want to let everyone know that. But now with live sight, you can just see them.
Yeah.
You can see 8 or 9 big fish on a snag. Spawning season, I know we're not allowed to fish during spawning season, but you sort of get the... when you go to a dam like Copeton or Blowering that's open, Eildon that's open all year round, you can really work out the spawning cycle of a cod. And those big metre 20 girls will have 10 or 15 800 to 900 males hanging around with them.
Yeah.
And if you just sit there and pepper the little fish, you'll catch every one of them.
Yeah.
They get really aggressive around the female.
Yeah.
But if you sting the female,
Party's
shuts the
over.
whole bite down.
Yeah. So like the yellers.
Yeah.
So if the yellers, you get the female.
Just like the real world, mate. Once a woman's cranky, party's over.
Yeah. And cod are realistically a perch, so they have all of the perch habits.
Yeah.
In the grand scheme of things, anything you do for yellers, reddies, bass, they're all relevant, and even barra. Same thing. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's you can't put the yellers back because they'll spook the rest and they'll all sook up. Same with the reddies. We're throwing reddies back all the time.
Yeah.
They'll eat a bit of string if you had it there.
Yeah.
Well, you watch the reddy; they swim straight back down into the school, and how often you sometimes do catch the same one over again.
Oh yeah, we've caught tag fish 2 casts in a row, the same tagged fish.
Yeah.
So it depends on a lot of other factors. I don't think it's the actual scaring.
Didn't check
the
for
fish.
a tag today, did you?
Golden tag.
Would have been.
Didn't have a golden tag.
I said, did you check?
Yeah, I checked.
Did not, you liar. Who put Powerball on too?
Oh, Alan's go.
Already done.
Done.
Oh.
On the app.
Yep. Yeah, no, we got... you never check. I never check. I ain't catching any fish, though.
No, I didn't look. I would have thought I'd notice it.
I was going to say...
No, they're not very
obvious.
big.
No, you can miss them.
Yeah.
If they are dirty, like that real dirty when they've been in for a long time, you can miss them. But generally for any of those golden tag ones, they've only been in for like 2 years, so they're fairly clean and still bright yellow.
Yeah.
But those original fisheries ones that are 5, 10 years old, they're just, you can miss it. It just looks like a stick on their back. If you're bank fishing and the fish is rolled over, you wouldn't see it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. All right. Well,
All right.
we better go to a break. This is Shamdonk Fish Talk. We will be back.
Righto, we're back. Oh, we got Mr. Scales, have we?
Well, you know what happens every Thursday, don't you?
It's a challenge.
It's one of the modern mysteries, isn't it?
Do you do any trout fishing?
I try to do opening every year, but the sort of grand final all happening in opening. So I've done during COVID. I ducked away for a work trip.
Yep.
And found some good trout because nobody was on the trout streams.
Yep.
But I was actually working in another caravan park, so they were right on the Goulburn River, which worked. So,
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah, and that was good. Actually caught one of those brood stock trout, so I think he went 12 pound.
Nice.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Even better.
Which was my first trout back. Getting back to Victoria, I've only been back 5 years, so that was very much an eye opener. Yeah, but tend not to target them a lot. No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, well, you probably
They need to do
don't
a
really have
trout
much
tournament.
time.
Talk me into it.
Yeah. Yeah, well, we do the Dark Cup, so...
Yeah.
We let's rephrase that. We win the Dark Cup. Yeah.
Well, first outing at it, first go, we won it.
You won it.
One fish.
One fish.
Only weighed one fish in. Won it. Everyone...
Well, we come third this year, last year.
Yeah.
Third overall.
Had a first time we had a full team. Come third. Weighed in half as many fish as everyone else.
Oh, a quarter of the fish. Was it 18 fish we weighed?
Didn't even weigh a fish. I think we weighed one fish in Sunday, I think.
Oh,
Did we? I don't think we did.
I don't think we weighed a fish in Sunday.
And we still come third.
That's awesome, though. Like,
I mean, we fish quality, not quantity.
Yeah.
And we weren't trawling either. We were only flicking.
oh, really?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. We were too lazy to trawl. Not that rich. Electricity costs nothing. Especially when you charge your batteries at the hotel.
I used to, like Leif, have the generator on the front to keep your battery charged so you can keep using your troll motor and keep quiet.
That's doing it tough.
At least it's not solar panels.
They wouldn't have worked real good up there the last 2 years.
No. But no, so we usually get Mr. Scales in from Dart, the mayor of
Dartmouth.
Yeah, but he's usually useless.
Well, as long as he sends you in the right direction.
Consistently.
Oh, he was banging on the other night when we were up there that he was going to make a bigger effort this year, but
Says that every year.
said that last year and the year before.
Oh, is that yours?
He did shout a couple of drinks, though, so he's probably trying to get over that.
Oh, he did.
Probably
That was hilarious, wasn't it? We're about to leave to go for another fish, and then Scales the office to shout us. Oh, righto. And Alan comes back in. I said, "You want a beer?" And he goes, "Nah." And I said, "Scales is shouting." Oh, yep.
Ran back in. We'll have to wait, boys.
And all the boys are going, "Geez, you don't." And all the other blokes, "You don't see this very often."
Yeah. Moths flying out of his wallet.
Yeah, he broke one glass while we were there.
So that's probably why I wasn't there when we come back.
But he was on the
Oh, he was on the Baileys when we left, wasn't he?
yeah.
Yeah, he'd be intrigued. He'd be out. That's probably why he's not allowed to ring. He's probably blamed it on us again.
No doubt.
But you've always got that one mate. It doesn't matter, every group you talk to, there's got that one mate that turns up to a barbecue with a six-pack and walks home drunk. It's just everyone's.
I'm sort of looking around the three of us, and I can't pick which one that is.
If you haven't got that mate, chances are you are that mate.
Oh, no, he's shocking. We went up there, we had, 3 beers with him over Christmas, and then he'd come back and told his wife that it was us that got him so drunk. I had to stay there and drink another box of beer. There was already a box in when we got there.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, they're just alcoholics, them blokes. And then 2 days later, he got a ban from coming home drunk New Year's.
What did he say? 3 o'clock in the morning or something?
Yeah, he ran in, and he
Walked past his house.
walked past, went in 5 doors before he got to his own. He must have been door knocking and drinking like Santa Claus. Just getting his rates for the year.
Yeah, I assume he's not here tonight. 'Cause he's not responding.
Not commenting.
No.
Oh, well, that's right then. We'll just Corey can keep yakking then. What else do you want to know? We're going to start on the bass.
Yeah, I'm happy to answer any question. Or,
So the bass tournament. So we've got 6 of those all over. 2 in Melbs, 2 in New South, and 2 in Queens.
Yep.
Which is your Oh, you know the lakes. What's your preferred method for catching bass?
Oh, spooning is actually my favourite method to catching bass. And
Jeez, I wish I had a girlfriend. I could have had a crack a joke.
As soon as he said,
I thought he's going to do a Bradbury.
I said it with a smile.
Yeah.
But it is definitely.
You must have heard the show
favourite,
before.
Way to catch fish, especially in Queensland when you're chasing those big bass at Somerset and Boondooma. This year we're going back to Somerset and Boondooma. Boondooma for the first time in about 5 years since I ran the caravan buck up there was the last time they had a tournament there. So it's sort of my old home lake. So I'm really looking forward to going.
Well, that's a solid win, man.
Yeah. So that's why I'm always going to retire and give away tournament fishing, but the calendar keeps turning up and it keeps better venues are turning up and better sponsors are coming on board, and it's just like I'm still enjoying it. I can still match it with the young boys, which is the best thing about the sport. Is doesn't matter how old you are.
Don't have to be super fit to be a fisherman.
No,
look at the crew here.
Athletes.
Yep.
I'm sure.
Yeah, I've seen them both get a sweat out on the water.
No, I gave a little bit of...
Yeah. Oh, you had to think about it, didn't
no,
you?
I'm just thinking the
Look who's talking.
the drinking side of it. We're pretty good athletes.
Oh.
We usually give that a good nudge everywhere we go.
Yeah, probably
Bit too
superheroes.
Yeah, could
Superhero
could
athletes.
be. You might call us superheroes.
Got body like a superhero, not juggernaut. Take that.
And I suppose that's a really good thing about tournament fishing as well, is the social side of it's still there. We don't have to go and run laps. We don't have to go and do any of that fitness stuff, but we can still sit there, have a few tinnies after.
Well, it's wrist strengthening.
Yeah. You
Start off with a full one, you slowly empty it.
Yep.
Plenty of repetitions. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's what you can say when you get home. So I'm just
easy.
training.
Yeah.
Just training.
Probably do that otherwise, but
I was going to say that too, but I thought, we all know where I was going to lead with that.
Is there much camaraderie through the fishes? Like, is it competitive? Is there a bit of bitching in the background, or you get around and I caught a couple on this?
not so much the bitchiness side, but definitely
It's mainly a male sport.
Yeah, I was going to say that. But yeah, it's very competitive. There are guys out there that will hide everything.
Yep.
We do have a motto of who shares wins through the tournament scene. I do my own show that I get all the guys on and give away their secrets and everything else. So yeah, it all comes back to karma. I think karma comes back and bites you if you hide too much. There's very rarely a heated argument, but there's obviously a few when they're in close quarters, when the bass are all in one section of the dam, you've got 30 boats out there, and that usual guy that drops in on a bank in front of you. I have seen on occasion boats going head. It's quite funny, but you see boats going head to head on electric motors at each other, yelling and screaming at each other, and you're like, dude, this is the slowest crash I'm ever going to see. But they sort of, puff the chest out, have a bit of a yell and scream, and then they go their different ways. I've seen that happen a few times, but in general, we get back, everyone sort of over-exaggerates their catch for the day or how they went, and then you've got the follow crew that just whoever's winning, that's who they're having beers with during that night. So and it's all entertaining. It really is.
Yeah.
It's a good mix, and everyone sort of gets along. But in general,
Till we
you can
join.
sort of pick how it goes. Yeah, for sure.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, it sounds like fun. I reckon I could really upset a few people.
It is quite easy to do.
Oh, yeah.
Nobody really
Come back
holds a
with
grudge.
giant swim baits on. What are we getting on? Oh, just these.
Yeah. Oh, look, I can tell you some real funny stories of back in the day. I've been doing this for a long time now, and since social media's come out, and as I said, the tournament directors have got smarter with it. But when you're fishing an ABT, you pay entry as what we call a boater or a pro, and you pay a little bit extra. You take your boat and you go and fish. Now, you can enter as a co-boater or a non-professional, and you pay a little bit less money, but it's like having a free charter. You get 3 different boaters during the weekend to go out and fish with, and you learn from each of them. But back in the day, under that scenario, I knew guys that used to, they'd cast, catch a fish, they'd put their rod down on the deck while they're undoing it, they'd show their kobo to the fish, and then they'd pick up a different rod and start casting it. Because what happens when you catch a fish is the first guy looks at what he's throwing, so he's picked up a different rod. That's how petty they used to be. I can remember at one of my first tournaments as a co-boater, I went up to one of the guys that was leading it. I said, "Oh, congratulations, well done. I didn't catch a fish today. Can you give me any hints?" And it was like, it's for me to know and you to find out, young fella. And it's like, that's all changed. It's all gone out of the sport.
Well, you don't have to give the exact colour, but the style or the sort of lure you were using, that's how's it got on a spinnerboat or a crankboat or whatever.
My favourite one is, well, you're clearly not that good of a fisherman if you're worried that telling me the secret's going to make you catch bigger fish than you.
No, and I'm very open with how I catch them because it is. It's that exact thing. It's the retrieve. It's the pause. It's the dangle. It's whatever it is that makes a difference. I could tell you exactly what lure I'm throwing, tell you what bank I'm throwing it, like at the comp on the weekend, and guys, I told guys, I said, come up here, fish this bank, do this, use this lure, and they couldn't catch any fish.
Yep, different line, different leader.
Yep. So many different things
swivel.
can go wrong. Yeah.
Lose the lure in a tree.
Yeah, well, when I say fish in the trees, I don't mean up there,
Hopeless. We're not the best fishermen in this team.
We do a lot of boating with rods.
Got plenty of gear too. We look really professional on the water.
All the gear and no idea.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a good one. My father used to always say when I was playing footy, if you can't be a footballer, at least look like one. I had to pull up my socks, tuck my jumper in.
Yep.
I've got all
the part.
Just roll around in the mud a little bit, just so it looks like you had a go.
Get the big boat, put the fishing shirt on, and you can look like a superstar.
I used to come home from footy and go, we don't have to wash Wade's Guernsey again. Just don't put me in the back line.
So what sort of boat do you use?
Yeah, I'm actually a sponsored angler. So I've got a Alacraft Bass Pro. It's out of the Bluefin stable. It's a little aluminium boat, about 5 metres long, running a 115 Merc on the back. And it's a perfect boat for around here. I used to have the big bass boats. I was a bit of one of those guys.
Yeah.
I say it all the time now that I've got a little boat. I was one of those guys.
What he's saying is 5 metre boat's little.
Yeah.
Well, it is compared.
That's why I was having a little chuckle about it.
I had a 21-foot nitro with 250. It used to do about $120. It was really good fun, but it comes to a stage where it was very expensive to run it. It was a Verado, so supercharged Mercury's they're not very good when you're running on full noise. I've got a Bluefin. It's a 5 metre boat, 4.98. I got that just big enough. They've got a 463, which I really loved. Would have been a really good river boat, but it was under that 4.8. So I went with the 498. And
nice looking boat too.
Yeah, I love it. Well, that's how we sort of caught up, wasn't it? At Gundawindi there when you seen it when I pulled up.
Yeah. I was like, so have a bit of a popular level with this boat. It's good. Don't even judge me. I didn't say nothing. Anywho, so it's a nice looking boat, and not even better that you're sponsored. That's even.
Yeah, it does help. I mean, every bit of sponsorship that I've earned over a long, long period of time. One of the biggest things that I run an ambassador program through the bass fishing, and I've got what have I got now? 8 guys that are underneath the ambassador program. We've got 5 boats out there. They get a boat each to use for a year.
Nice.
And one of the biggest things that I say to all of those guys is you've got to earn that sponsorship. It's there's too many people out there. You guys are into lures and that'll walk up with a photo and say, give me a free lure. I've got a photo of the fish in your mouth. It doesn't work that way. You've got to earn it.
Yeah.
And it's taken me 10 years to get some really, really good sponsorships, but they do help for sure. Yeah.
I think if our only sponsor we'd get to be Jack Daniels or
Mother.
CUB.
I've been working
on
company. I've been working on Canadian Club for about 3 years now, and they just won't come to the party, I can tell you.
How'd you go? Did you run that lure I give you?
Yes, I caught a heap of reddies out of Hume on that with my young fella.
Yeah.
Just before...
Love them.
Yeah, just before Christmas. Yeah.
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 What was that?
Don't
say pin shrimp.
No.
Oh,
No, give him the crazy shrimp, the black and orange crazy shrimp.
Oh, yeah.
I caught a ton of yellows on that.
Yeah, you would. Yeah.
And drifting.
Windermere.
Just drifting.
I'd love 'em.
And out in the middle of nowhere, no trees, no nothing, just randomly bobbing for reddies, or teabagging for reddies, as they say. And next bit, zzz.
That's another thing the live site has taught me, where the fish sit, not necessarily always in the trees.
No, I don't. We hardly. Oh, in the river we fish a tree, but you're only hanging off it if you haven't got the electric out. But, geez, we never fish a tree unless they're sitting on it.
Yep. In the bass, another one, we fish a lot of bare banks where there's not a fish showing on the scope whatsoever, but you're sitting on a big lot of fish out 20 metres off the bank, because you know that they're sitting out there going up there to feed.
Yep.
And you want to have the lure in front of that fish that's swimming towards or coming back from the bank they're going to eat.
Yep.
These things aren't, because they've already had a gutful, or, so you could sit out here teabagging them or whatever you want, can't get them to bite, but if you sit on top of them and cast back towards the bank from them, you'll always catch fish, yeah.
Well, I've never caught a bass. I don't think anyone.
No.
None of us have caught a bass in here. But in saying that, no one's gone anywhere to catch one.
Them. Yeah.
There's one. What's the closest one?
It'd be Blue Rock, I think, the closest to here, because there's a few down Ballarat way where they stock bass. A lot of those little dams or whatever you call it around Melbourne, they've put bass in. Generally, bass will only be in a river system that runs to the ocean. They're not allowed to put them in inland, so they can't be in the Murray River system.
Yeah, they said that, but when I win Powerball tonight, I'm just going to dump a heap out. Yeah.
And look, for a lure fishing, for a fish, unless you're chasing barra, everyone knows that barra are the best fish to catch on a lure. Yeah. And cod on the strike are sensational, but in pound for pound, in the freshwater, you will not beat a bass, an Australian bass. They are just the best fun on light gear. They'd pull a cod backwards, and they keep going all the way back to the boat. That's the best thing about it.
Oh yeah, I'm just pulling up the.
So what sort of line class you using and rods and that you?
Depending on the venue, I get pretty technical with line class. Once again, that helps when you're sponsored. But in general, if I was fishing a open water, it'd be 10 pound.
Yeah.
But there are some occasions where I'm in the trees, I'll fish anything up to 20 pound.
Yeah. Yeah, just so you got a chance to get your lure back.
Yeah, pretty much. And that's the good thing about it. When they bite, they hit hard.
Yeah.
And they, as I said, they'll fight dirty. They'll run, and they'll do good runs. And they'll fight all the way back to the boat. You know what yellows are like. They'll give you a good run, and then they might come up in circles, or they might have a bit of a lazy spell, and then they'll have another go at the surface. Bass just keep going.
Like carp.
Yeah, just
Keep
insanely
peeling.
good fun.
So it's about 5 hours.
5 hours from here, yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, it looks like a terrible road.
I do go the terrible way because I just hate traffic. So you can go around through Melbourne. There's a heap of roadworks there. The boys that left from Shepparton to go down there on the weekend, they got there 2 hours behind me, and I went through the hills. You know.
Oh, yeah, it would have been everyone trying to peel out and back for the holidays. Where's it? Oh, Limestone. Turn off at Limestone there and head that way.
Yeah, so I think the sort of Moe Morwell down there they've got the two really good dams. They're stocked. They're stocked with rainbows as well.
Yep.
So there's rainbows. There's natural browns. They've got bass and redfin in them. So you've got plenty of bycatches.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's all right. We should organise a trip down there. There accommodation down there, or?
You can. Willow Grove's really cool. There's not that the bed and breakfasts around there are really cheap in the off season.
Oh yeah.
So when the holidays and that are on, they're through the roof. But they have a couple of really good bed and breakfasts with massive big backyards. And you fit, when we go, it might be 6 or 8 boats, in the backyard, and we all put in for one house and all fit in there. So we don't tell them that there's 10 guys there, but we're always respectful with the gear.
Yeah. Yeah, so Airbnb, you reckon?
Yeah. Otherwise, you got to go into, I think it's Moe or one of those places, and even when we first year I come down from Queensland and fished there in a tournament.
That would have been a drive.
The gear.
Yeah. Yeah, so Airbnb, you reckon?
Yeah. Otherwise, you got to go into, I think it's Maui or one of those places, and even when we first year I come down from Queensland and fished there.
Bambeat, you reckon?
Yeah. Otherwise, you got to go into, I think it's Maui or one of those places, and even when we first year I come down from Queensland and fished there in a tournament.
That would have been a drive.
It was. The guy, it was the biggest model nitro board out. It was a 21 foot, but I could lay a full-size swag on the back deck behind the back seats, double swag.
And a pool table up the front.
Set it up, and it wouldn't touch the seats or the motor. You know, it was the back deck was bigger than the front deck on most boats. It was massive boat.
Yeah.
Rode really well. It was awesome in the waves. But a tournament would cost me $500 in fuel.
Oh. It's called Leadfoot, mate.
Yeah, well, if you slow down, but, you know, as I said, I was one of those fishermen. I've learnt to back off. You know, you do the shotgun start in a bass comp, so your number gets called out, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you go. Yep. So if you want to get to a certain spot before everyone else, you want to be there as quickly as you can. But for the rest of the day, I just putt around. When I had the big boat, it'd be like you'd be down the back of the dam and you go, wonder what's happened at the dam wall. Zip. Zip. Because it was so quick to get there.
Yep.
You get there, oh no, they're not going here, we'll go back up the back. Zip, up the back.
Yeah.
And there's $50 worth of fuel.
Yeah. Yeah, it's the only problem having that kind of power. The new ones would be a lot cheaper.
New ones are a lot better, for sure. Yeah. But I definitely would never own... Those Verados are good for your offshore boats when they're trolling for tuna and stuff like that, where they're doing 3,500 revs. They don't like doing 6,000 revs.
Yeah.
It's like driving an old Valiant. You can just, when you open it up...
All appropriate on this station.
You can just watch the petrol gauge go down. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. All previous Valiant owners in this room.
Current.
Huh? And current. Yeah, current, yes.
Yeah, my Valiant was good on fuel. It used more oil than it did fuel.
Because the fuel was pumping into the oil.
You knew it had oil if it was leaking.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not like it didn't leak overnight. That was only probably 3 litres a week. That's probably a litre a week.
Bit of a shock going from a 200 back to 100.
Not really.
Geez, I'm going slow.
Yeah, look, it's an ego thing. It is really an ego thing. So when you've got boats overtaking you, and you guys, anyone of our sort of age that's into cars and whatnot, you're driving down the road, somebody overtakes you. You get the urge to just speed up. So it's the same in the boat.
I like how he assumes we're all childish in here.
He's not wrong.
No. He's right. He's right.
No, just there.
So when it went from 200, which was 120 clicks, to the new boats 80 k's an hour. So you'd think 40 k's an hour is not that bad, but they go past you like you're standing still.
Yeah.
And you just want to go, can I go faster? Can I change the pitch? But no, it's just like, just put up with it. Because Australian dams aren't big enough. Like Hume's big, don't get me wrong, and Eildon's big, but most of the other bass dams that we fish, they are tiny in comparison. And we base everything we do on the US. So, 250 Mercuries on the US, they'll run for 3 hours at 100 k's an hour to get to this spot.
Yeah. You ever watch that Milliken?
Yeah.
And he's like, it's probably going to take me 3-4 hours to get up the back of this creek. And you're like...
And they'll fill up on the way. They've got docks that fill up and stuff like that. And that's all great. But in Australia, most of the dams, as I said, with that 250 on the back of mine, there was no dam that was more than 8 minutes from one end to the other.
Yeah.
In the bass circuit. So,
and there's always crap floating in the water too. You see them over in States when they hit that floating log and motors halfway down the river.
And I've got older too, so anything that doesn't have brakes scares me these days. And
then those older ones never pulled up real well.
No.
So newer ones are a bit better. I'd want one of those kills that drop down and pull the anchors right on real quick.
I have had occasions, especially on the Murray, where you're sort of shooting around and changing spots, and then you go, I'll go up the other end, and you go for a bit of a squirt, and then you come around the corner and there's 2 wake boats.
Yeah.
And they're running side by side, and they've got the skier in the middle of the surfboarder in the middle of the river. I can remember hitting one of those at full noise one day because I had nowhere else to go. Luckily, the surfer jumped, and I went straight through the middle. I reckon I went about 25 feet in the air. I thought I'd broken both my ankles when I hit the ground.
Yeah.
Nobody got hurt, thankfully. They were really cool about it. They come over, they checked us out, they said, sorry, we're stuffing around, we've had a few tinnies, rah, rah, rah. We had a bit of a joke about it, but it could have been a lot worse.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And that's what I mean. So that's what scares me these days. I've got older and a little bit more respect for what I've got.
Life.
And, life in general. And doing 120 k's an hour in the water with no brakes doesn't really interest me anymore.
I'd be a bit scared to do that out Lake Hume. Right?
Yeah, that's how what's name lost his, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Hit a tree.
Oh,
He didn't even remember hitting the tree. He got back to the boat, rammed his boat sinking.
Yeah.
You're sort of looking around, like when it's low, we've got a bit of an idea where a lot of the forest sort of timber is. When it's high, you're just belting across the top of that, and then it starts dropping a bit, and you see the odd one poking up. There's a lot of stuff in here.
Yeah, and I suppose the upside of the big horsepower, and I run Lowrance sounders, so I always have the social mapping on, so you know where all the river channels are. So you've got a fair idea of... So
that's what they call their mapping, is it?
Yeah, social mapping. So you can follow the river channel really closely and have less trees to worry about, so to speak. So, yes, it might take me, 500 metres away when you're cutting the corner, but I'll catch it around the other side anyway with the big boat. So it can be safer in that aspect in some ways because you're not cutting corners because you've got enough horsepower.
Yeah.
But definitely I've stuck true to Lowrance for years now because of their mapping system. It was, I waited through that whole live scope thing for Lowrance to bring it out because the mapping was more valuable to me than their live scope was.
Yeah. Your Garmin owns all that mapping now and never haven't used it.
Yeah.
Had it since COVID.
Yeah.
I haven't used it. I've rang and abused them multiple times. Like, your abuse doesn't mean anything to us, donk.
Yeah. No, at Garmin's, don't get me wrong, I mean, it doesn't matter what you got. It's the old Ford, Holden, Valiant scenario. They've all got their base.
It does. Where did your live scope come from?
Lowrance.
Where did Lowrance come from?
Lowrance.
They did it all on their own, did they?
No,
they didn't trade off someone.
It come from Garmin.
So you haven't got all the different brands on there?
No, all the ones.
So you'd have Mega 360.
I have 3 Lowrances on my boat. Yeah.
Is Lowrance going to do a 360?
Talkies, yes.
They all will.
Oh yeah. It'll
think,
just vary from the Hummingbird, I reckon.
Yeah, look, 360 is the bomb. The Barra guys absolutely love it. They'd rather have 360 than live.
Yeah.
But
especially the way they move around.
I think the way that Lowrance is looking at it, and this is all sort of what I've pieced together from hours on the internet, just wasting time, is that they're trying to make their new transducer, the new one that they've just brought out, whatever, it's got the 160-degree view, they're trying to make that maybe stitched together and have them in sort of a live site eventually around it, but it's the processing power of the computer that's the issue. So they did that stupid one where you can put a side scan transducer on your electric, press scan, and it will do 360 for you on your screen, but then you can't touch your electric while it's doing the scan.
Yeah.
So it defeated the purpose. It was a pretty silly idea as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, it's not. It's like the dams in the States are a lot more calmer than ours, and you're not getting pushed around as much. Right, we better cut to a quick break, and then we'll be right back. This is Shamdonk Fish Talk. Righto, we're back. I haven't spoke to Craig.
I've sent a message, and we'll know in 2 minutes.
No, righto. He might be busy.
Well, he usually rings on the button, so...
Yeah. We won't answer and let it ring out, so he has a whinge.
Yeah.
We was just saying in the break there, you reckon the mapping's going to be pretty good once Garmin...
Oh, for sure. I mean,
their offshore stuff's pretty good, isn't it?
Sorry?
Their offshore stuff's pretty good.
Yeah.
He's bloody Lowrance.
Eh?
How would he know? He's with Lowrance. You're asking a Lowrance bloke. Ask a Lowrance question.
Oh, no. Look, all the boys...
No, because we know all the Garmin stuff, so...
We have a lot of arguments and
I can
conversations
imagine.
on gear like that, but there is nothing wrong with the Garmin stuff. They've led the pack. They've really changed the landscape, which is awesome.
Even their motors
Yeah.
But everything they do at 110%.
Yep.
It doesn't matter what it is, whether it's a watch.
Well, that electric
Trauma.
motor, they rated it 80 pound. It pulls 80 pound. Watch videos of blokes doing it on the dock with scales.
It is.
And they reckon the Minn Kota was, at best 80% of what they claim.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
because there was no formula to measure the ratage of it. They just went off what the motor was rated.
Yeah.
And Garmin turned around and said, well, that's not right. So,
No,
so they calculated a formula.
They've really changed the game, and we have to, put our hands together for them, because there was a real flat spot in that whole side of things. Lowrance owned the freshwater, Simran owned the outside stuff, which is the same company, just different brand.
Yeah.
And then you had Hummingbird up north, was just killing it with their 360.
Yeah.
And then Garmin come out with this pan optics, and we all thought, wow, what's this? And then they got it better in the live scope, and then through to forward to what they've got now is just insane. I mean, when you can watch bubbles come up off a fish or off a lure, and that's what we were talking about earlier, about learning stuff. To see the amount of bubbles that come off a spinnerbait, and the trail that it leaves behind the spinnerbait, you're like, hang on a minute, I'm starting to understand a few things here.
Yeah.
Well, we watched, Donk had a cray on one day, and we're like down the river, and we're watching it on the live. Got zoomed right in, you can see the cray. It was a big, fair sized cray though, but
would have been good eating.
Oh, wouldn't it?
Looked like a painted lobster.
Yeah. You're watching it, and then you watch it drop off the cheese or the chicken and drop back down, and goes back, picks it back up.
It looked like it was about 50 centimetres on the on the screen.
It was big.
And it's good you can pick the length and accurately pick the length.
Yeah.
You've seen the YouTube videos and all that on the cast net, when the cast net and the prawns.
No,
they look really cool.
Yeah.
And doing the swim under the boat and stuff like that.
Yeah.
All right, we got Craig in.
Good evening and welcome to Fish Talk. Who we got?
Got Craig from Bait and Tackle.
Craigie, how are you? How you going? Hey, Craig.
What's going on, gents? I didn't know if we were doing it tonight.
Oh, you know we don't have any breaks.
It's Thursday night.
So I was supposed to be on Australia, not to have this show.
Yeah. Oh, God, could you imagine if we didn't do it? Jesus.
They're all probably drunk anyway.
Well, they usually are.
Well, Brandy hasn't rang in yet, so...
I've been working all day, mate, so, just on my second Great Northern now.
Oh, yeah, living the dream. We've got a tournament fishing in here, bloke in here today too. We've got young Corey.
G'day, Corey, how are you?
G'day, how you going?
Good.
You've got it on your phone, you can be jailed.
Yeah?
Yep.
Yeah, I'm sure everyone's seen the trout photos getting around. That's all over Facebook. Everyone's been warned, and I didn't realise they were down Southians.
Not that I've researched it, but apparently Tasmanians.
Yeah, enough said. It's funny she only had one head, though. No, I live there long enough. I can say what I want. It's just words. Sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me. Grow up.
I doubt we've got any Tasmanian listeners, so you'll be right.
Well, twice as many ears to listen with. Well, they don't often come over to the mainland. I hate that. Where are you from? Off the mainland? We're on Australian too.
No, they're not. They live overseas.
That's why they call it the little map of Tassie. Is that in your quiz?
No.
They don't like these Aussie slang questions.
Oh, I should have taken note from last week. Last week was a bit difficult, wasn't it?
I noticed you've given multiple choice, which is good.
2 multiple choice questions, and I've scaled it down to 5 instead of 6.
Oh, so it's just the 5-pack.
Well, it's a straight arm. Feeling lazy.
Yeah.
Okay.
No more Baker's dozen.
I might go to 7 next week.
Ooh, throw an extra one in. You're in charge of the quiz now. Do whatever you want.
Feeling lazy.
Yeah. No more Baker's dozen.
I might go to 7 next week.
Ooh, throw an extra one in. You're in charge of the quiz now. Do whatever you want. Ring the police. The other tournament you do is the best 3 species.
Yeah, so the Freshwater Fishing Masters, it's invitation only. We call it like the Australian cricket team. It's harder to get into than out of, but once you're in it forever. And
now, so this is what happens.
Now you get a phone call.
No, they obviously want to listen to what you got to say.
Yeah, so the Masters, it's really good. They do a Windermere. We call it like the Australian cricket team. It's harder to get into than out of, but once you're in it forever. And
now, so this is what happens.
Now you get a phone call.
No, they obviously want to listen to what
it's harder to get into than out of, but once you're in it forever. And
now, so this is what happens.
Now you get a phone call.
No, they obviously want to listen to what you got to say.
Yeah, so the Masters, it's really good. They do a Windermere in September in Bath, and then try and come down to Mulwala and catch 10 cod. And for the last 3 years, I think I've been in the top 3 after the first 2 events, and bombed out at my home dam at Mulwala and struggled to catch a cod. So this year, hopefully, be a bit different. It's a really good. Once again, you can look it up on Facebook page, but it's Freshwater Masters. And they run a really good show. You pay your entry fee. That includes your food, your main meals, everything else. Really, really well run.
Oh, shit. And so it's invite only?
Well, they try. For years, when they first started it, it was definitely invite only. But now it's sort of ring them up. They check you out, make sure that you're not, a troublemaker.
Yeah, if you're somebody.
Yeah.
That's going to help promote the...
Yeah. And look after it. And
there we go. We should give the invite.
Yeah, you generally get in.
Yeah.
They don't want it to grow too big. They want to stay at between that 30 to 40.
No.
He struggles.
Yeah, I know, he's terrible.
That's why me and him are mates.
Yeah,
we're terrible at it.
Really, really top guy in the sense of he doesn't just sort of sit in his corner with his group. He goes and has dinner each event with a different table and gets around, and the banter is really good.
He's a good bloke. I've known him for years now.
Yeah.
I always used to run into him at the airports all the time. And
yep.
Like, we better have a quick beer.
Have a quick beer.
10
and he
o'clock
loves
in the
to
morning.
do that. Yeah.
Yeah, nothing's changed.
No.
Only his waistline.
No.
Shouldn't say that, he might listen.
Doubt it.
This show would be right up his alley. I'll send him the link.
I do have to. I'll butt in and give a bit of a shout out to
Matthew.
You
better give it to him.
I better give Matthew Langford a bit of a shout out because he's been sending me messages telling me I haven't been plugging Garmin enough. He knows I'm use Lowrance. He's a Garmin ambassador, so.
He'll fit in. We'll get him down there next time then.
Well, he's all the way up in Kingaroy in Queensland, so all the boys have been on. I've put a plugging Garmin enough. He knows I'm use Lowrance. He's a Garmin ambassador, so.
He'll fit in. We'll get him down there next time then.
Well, he's all the way up in Kingaroy in Queensland, so all the boys have been on. I've put a thing out on my Facebook page, and all the boys have been.
You should put a poll up on the fish talk page.
I don't need to put a poll up to know which one's better, mate. I'll put a poll down. But yeah, so that's a pretty good comp then. So what's roughly the expenditure for that?
It's since COVID, it's just gone up. So it's $1,000 for the 3 events. That includes your main meal at each event as well. So
and that's per person.
Yeah, per team.
Oh, per team.
Yeah.
2 in a team.
Yep, 2 in a team.
Oh shit, that's not bad.
It's good going. It's really good going.
Yeah.
It's not an elaborate spread, but it's a barbecue, salads, a couple of salads, whatnot. I like the events where you congregate in the one area and you're not all at 100 different campsites. As I said, there's celebrities in it. There's normal people. There's tournament fishermen, and everyone's in the one area, and it's a good banter. Good fun.
Yeah. That's one thing I do like about those comps.
Yeah. So. And ABT, that's in a couple of weeks' time down at Blue Rock and Glen Maggie. It's a double header. Once again, everyone's camping in the same spot, so the banter, everything's there, everyone's there. But if anyone wants to get in the tournament, I've been pushing the Victorian side of things. We've had them down here 3 years now, and we sort of get about that 25 boats. I'd love to get it up to that 30 boat, and maybe even get a grand final down here one year. That's my push, because I'm about the only Victorian that does all of them these days.
Oh, really?
There's not too many Victorians that travel all the way to Queensland every year to try and qualify.
Yeah, well, that's why we were waiting on until I bought the van. I was just going to deck the van out so you could sleep in the back of that bad boy.
Yep. And, all you got to do is fish 4 rounds, qualify for the grand final, and each year, the last 3 years, it's been the 463 Allocraft that I was talking about, the smaller version of mine, is the actual grand final prize.
Oh.
So you got to qualify to
need a new boat
to go in that, and then all you got to do is win the grand final to win. It's a $60,000 boat. So
seems easy enough.
Yeah,
If anyone could do it, we could fluke that.
Anyone can fluke
How
the
many
grand
fish do you
final.
need
You
to
just
catch?
got to get there.
Yeah. How many fish do you need to catch?
Depends on the. Generally, it's a 2 fish limit.
Is it length or weight? Because I've seen this trick you can do with weight.
Well, yeah, sinkers. They're all different now because fisheries rules in each state are different. So some are app-based, where you've got to take a photo on the brag mat, send it in, it's all calculated, weight to length ratio. Others are actually still live weigh-ins, where you can take fish in, because every state is different with Australian bass.
Yep.
Some states you can take whatever you want. Other states you can't have anything over 40, and it makes it too hard. So there are app-based and live weigh-ins.
Yeah. Now, with the live weigh-in, if you put them back and they die,
you get penalised.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. They're really strict on it, and they've said this year that they're going to be even more strict on it. If you are seen mishandling a fish this year deliberately, they're just going to wipe your points, which is really good, because we need that, because we don't want a certain people to get a hold of tournament fishing and really kill it.
No, you can say it on here, mate. We give it to her all the time.
Yeah, so
My friend Emma.
We don't want the colour green to really push that tournament scene out of it. So the live weigh-in's good. I do still love the live weigh-in, but with some fishermen, you see them, the way they're fishing, we look after them. We've got aerators, we've got aerated pump tanks. The weigh station master looks at them, makes sure they're all still alive. And then they, as soon as they get off the stage, they walk down to the back of their boat and, just throw them in the hot water. I've always been one to take my boat out to the middle of the dam.
Yeah, especially when your boat's sitting there right on the bank.
In that muddy water and everything else. So they're going to be really strict on it this year, which is good.
Let's just put them in there. I'll put them back in there tomorrow.
Yeah. Take my boat out to the middle of the dam.
Yeah, especially when your boat's sitting there right on the bank.
In that muddy water and everything else. So they're going to be really strict on it this year, which is good.
Let's just put them in there. I'll put them back in there tomorrow.
Yeah. Well, look, all the ways of cheating, with...
Yeah, no, well, it's good, though. Like, you could...
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
It's good that we've come that way. Like, there's nothing worse than cheating.
Back in the day,
They'd be checking their gill
guys
nets
like cod opening and stuff like that, where, you're supposed to be fishing in Melbourne whaler, and they're flowering or yielding or, bringing fish back. So all that's sort of gone by the wayside, which is good.
No, that's exactly right. Yeah,
well, that was the rumour there at that first Ngambia, that the bloke caught it in a dam.
Yeah.
And transported his metre 10 or whatever it was.
They caught 11 people tethering cod.
Yep.
That first comp. And that was the worst ran comp I've ever been in.
I actually enjoyed it, in the sense of...
It's a great idea.
The idea and everything.
Yeah.
But I found that it was so disorganised in the internal ranks.
Yep.
Even to the extent of having no lighting when you're walking out of the venue.
Yep.
Little things that they overlooked.
But they were giving away the prizes to people in the crowd, because the people that were fishing weren't there. I'm like, well, they're not supposed to be there. They're supposed to be out fishing. Like, we sent an old lady and come over to see what was going on. She was like, I thought I was getting the fridge. He goes, well, we'll give you the fridge.
Oh, there was...
And I was sitting there going, well, what's the point of having a lucky door prize? And come over to see what was going on. She was like, I thought I was getting the fridge. He goes, we'll give you the fridge. They'd call out two fishing. And I was sitting there going, pull the Pull the envelope. What's the point of having a lucky door prize? So the mystery weight giving it out to was they'd call out 2 fishing.
On
the
third year because of the year off for COVID.
Yeah.
Because I know guys were going out there at carp o'clock.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Had them all sitting on the bank.
Yeah.
Oh, it was hilarious because you're watching the app and they're like, oh, it's carp o'clock. And then you're just going, bing, 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 bing. Everyone's everyone's just...
They changed that and they learnt their lesson. But,
Same with the cod, though. Like live well, you'd be just chucking... If it's a legal fish, you'd be putting...
That
it in
other
live
bloke's
well.
painful to listen to, too. That other young bloke. God, I almost fell asleep in social.
Oh, yeah.
I was listening to it one day coming back from Sydney from a job, and I was like, yep, turn that off. They're about as entertaining as a dead fish. I don't mind telling people what I really think.
No, and that's you got to be like that. But, I think the Cod Classic I love because 7, 8, 9, 10 boats are given away.
It's well ran though.
Yeah, I was a bit shocked when Tony stood down and thought, I wonder how it's going to run. This year just been, but they brought him back, and it was run well again. So,
yeah, I'll tell you the story behind that.
I'm sure it was football club orientated. No. Down and thought, I wonder how it's going to run. This year just been, but they brought him back, and it was run well again. So,
yeah, I'll tell you the story behind that.
I'm sure it was football club orientated. No. Along the waterfront there, from there.
Yeah.
We were lucky enough to snag the last campsite to the gate, so we were there. It was easy to walk in, so it was quite enjoyable for us. I wouldn't have been happy about being way down the other end.
No, we stayed at the caravan park the first time. Well, we actually done a recon.
Yeah.
We went down there. We're standing there talking to the girls in the caravan park, and next to this boat comes past. I'm like, what's the electro boat doing there? Oh, Paul Worsley's here doing a fishing show. So a lot of us got banned off Instagram and Facebook for a couple of weeks.
Yep.
Because he'd put an article up, and then he decided he was going to fish the Ngambie comp. I'm like, wait a minute, you've just poached the area. Scientifically researched the area, sorry.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, righto. But we stayed at the caravan park, and the Sunday night after they kicked everyone out, they had a party till 3 o'clock in the morning in that tent, the beer tent closest to the caravan park.
Yeah.
So they're karaokeing at 3 o'clock in the morning.
That comedian they had was...
horrendous.
Oh, no, it was loud. And
for the one that he was really rude.
Yeah,
Yeah. So I'm standing there with my 14-year-old son. How can this be possible at a family event?
Yeah.
Because he didn't pull his punches on the jokes either.
And he was very racist jokes too. There's a lot of them.
I was like, oh.
Yeah, I'm thinking, really hope he's...
But his security
he's not
guards
white, put it that way, because the stuff he was saying, you're thinking...
Oh, yeah, it was funny. But even the bands weren't that good. Nothing. And the bloke couldn't even pronounce Daiwa properly. Yeah. We've got some Daiwa prizes here. Hasn't your balls dropped, mate? So...
No one's liking your quiz there, Al.
Well.
No, next year.
Next Australia Day.
Oh, he's written down his book, so just pull it out next time.
Yeah.
It is written in the book.
Yeah, it's cute how you wrote that down. So, so they got... we're supposed to get back to... We've picked on Ngambie enough on this show.
No,
it's cancelled this year.
Well, it's cancelled. They've pulled the pin on it. And it was always funded by Vic government, Target 1 million. But like most comps, as you were talking about, too top-heavy, 80 grand first cod is going to promote cheating anyway. Why not?
Well, you only got to ask Tony that.
$80,000 and buy a show bag for every kid worth freaking $150 each.
Yep.
And get everyone into fishing.
But it was even expensive to have a stall there.
Yeah.
I think I wasn't Preditech. What's that? The lure maker? One of the lure maker guys. I think he was saying it cost him like $1,500.
Yeah.
For a little. He's like, I'm selling all right, but he said it's still a lot of money if it didn't get the attention it was going to.
So you got like 80 first prize, and I know third prize was $1,000 or something. Was it 1,000? No, more than $5,000.
$5,000.
Because that's one of our mates won it.
Yeah.
And they said it took them months and months and months to get paid. They were ringing up, where's our money? Where's our money? And you're thinking, surely they could have given them a cheque there and then, or a bank transfer, because they've got the money.
Oh, yeah.
They've got all your entry money.
Would have made a lot of interest on that money sitting there the way they paid it out.
It took them a long time, he said, to get that.
What are the prizes like in these tournaments you do?
Generally okay.
Or is it just a big major at the end?
Well, it is a big major at the end is what we're all sort of looking towards, but they work it out on a ratio of 1 in 4. So if there's 20 entries, they'll pay to 5th place. If there's 60 entries, so it's a 1 in 4 sort of ratio. And generally for, that 20 to 30 boat field, it'll be $3,000 to $4,000 first place. If it's bigger than that, I've seen it up to 7. Then the Australian Open is always 10 or above.
So it covers your fuel for the for the weekend.
So they're good enough, but not because
not like the States sort of 2 trucks, 2 boats, a couple of $1 million each.
Definitely not.
It'd be nice. It'd be nice to see that.
That's what we're trying to work to. Well, it'll never be that good, but
no.
We're trying to work.
You could never say
something.
never. You don't know.
Yeah.
Geographically, we've got it wrong in Australia. So, as we talked about the fluctuating water levels, and we don't have the population around the waterways.
Yeah.
So you look at some of those towns in America; they're bigger than Melbourne, and they're around the waterway.
Yeah.
So we don't have that inland. So we're probably not going to get that side of the sponsorship.
Well, so you're getting a few thousand people there.
Yeah.
For day one.
Yeah.
That have paid whatever it is.
Yeah. Oh.
But that's there's people in the crowd sitting there watching the screens of them. It'd be amazing to go and see. Like, I've got that My Outdoor TV.
Yep.
And I watch the bass stuff all the time, just thinking, look at the money these blokes pour into this.
There's a group of, because Carl Jocumsen obviously is Australia's only angler over there at the moment, performing reasonably well.
Yep.
He's won a Bassmaster, so he's the pinnacle. That's who we all look up to. He's the grand poobah. And you look at his setup and everything else over there, it's really, really cool. But he won the one tournament the year before last, $100,000, set him up. But it's $5,000 entry.
Mm. Yeah. That's what people don't see.
And then they'll have 200-300 boats. You don't see the rest. You only see what's on ESPN and everything else, which is the final cut.
Yeah.
But not only that, is they have midweek comps as well on the same venue. We talk about, boat traffic. They'll have a university comp because they've got Bass University over there. Yeah. On Monday and Tuesday. Then they'll have a family comp on Wednesday, Thursday, and then they'll have the pros on the weekend.
Yeah, and you think to yourself, there's a lake that's had a absolute beating all week.
Yep. And the pros are going to go out and finish it off.
And still friggin' pull in monsters.
And we whinge about having 20 boats on a dam for a comp.
Yeah, we do. Yeah. Or someone was fishing here yesterday. They're not supposed to be fishing here. Yeah,
that bloody ski boat, he's annoying all me fish. Well, obviously, American bass are a lot dumber.
Yeah, they must be. I don't understand it. I wonder if I can con those blokes to take me out while I'm over there. I'll be in New Orleans, so should be able to get something around there in Texas and New Orleans.
Mate, there's so many good charter guys out there that do it, and they love Australians. Carl's done really good for us over there. There's a group, ABT put it out last year that they're going to set up to go to the Classic, and I think they've now got 20 guys going over. They've all paid their money. They're all going over where Carl's, made the Classic. So they're all going over as a group, flying over. They're going to fish a few charters and just sit there in the crowd at the Classic and just cheer Carl on,
Oh, that'd be all right. That'd be good fun.
Townsville and buy a Dodge Ram in one showroom, walk out with a Nitro in the other showroom, and go and buy a...
Shoot that shotgun.
Yeah.
Have you been to the
No. It's on the it's on the plans of a trip. If I can swing it around pre-fishes and everything else,
Yeah.
I would definitely call in there for a look. Yeah.
It is. Yeah, it's pretty big. It's a bit different 'cause you sort of walked in and look around going, oh, it's not as big as I thought it was. Then you start walking around and going, oh yeah, it just keeps going and going.
Yeah.
And it's got everything in it, other than cars. But
Yeah.
you got
Yeah,
boats.
so
I don't
you've
know
got
what sort of boats they
Well,
were.
the Bass has got boats, guns,
Yeah.
fishing gear, more stuffed animals, taxidermied animals than you could ever poke a stick at.
Yeah.
Oh, geez, I'd love that in the lounge room.
I just love their fish tanks. Like,
Oh,
Yeah.
what about the one in Vegas? It's got a big moat around it, and there's trout,
yeah.
steelhead trout running around inside it, and then the moat runs inside the building. And
For people that don't sort of know anything about it, when you explain it to them, they sort of think you're waffling a little bit.
Yeah, you're
and
like,
then you
"Oh,
grab
come
a
on."
YouTube video or something up, and you go, have a look at this, and they go, no, that's not real.
and it's cheap,
Yeah,
so cheap.
yeah.
I lived there for a couple of months, and I come back the biggest tight ass, didn't I? Wouldn't even go buy a beer. I'm like, no, I'm paying that. It's all right, we're back. Righto. Well, we might as well wrap it up. What's on for the weekend?
For me, just work. I'm in the caravan park industry. We're 7 days a week, so I try and punch in as many brownie points as I can, work as many weekends as I can to get all those tournament weeks off. So,
Yep.
yeah, just work for me.
Smart man. Smart man. What about you?
Ginger Anglers Club have a comp this weekend. So, try and catch a cod.
Was it open cod? Oh,
Open cod, yeah. Thanks, Ross.
Yeah. Ouch. Yeah, no. Might have to start doing your own.
So where are you fishing?
I don't know.
Did you want to come out with me or what? Or you got the boys?
If you want. Oh, I don't have to.
Dad of the
Actually,
year.
I don't want to get out fished again.
You don't want to take the kids.
I've got to take the crown off the oldest kid, who's the
Oh.
best fisherman in the family.
Yeah, I rang him. What was that, Saturday, wasn't it? Saturday,
Yeah.
I ring it. Jet answers. Best fisherman in the family. What do you want, Donk? Oh,
The
jeez.
9-year-old who's caught catches reddies all the time.
Hey, as long as he's out there doing it, that's the main thing.
Oh, you should have seen him school. We had Bradbury in last week, and he whinges about the pimp shrimp we got. Like, they're just flawless on the reddies. Doesn't matter. If they're not biting, throw one of them on, they'll bite it. He can't catch one. I said, you're too finessey with it. Just spaz it out, it'll work. And they're no good, they're no good. And I said, boys, how good are the pimp shrimps? Oh, they're the best lure out. He's like, no, they're not. I haven't caught a fish on it. Yeah, well, you don't know what you're doing.
Yeah, yeah.
Well,
Nine-year-old,
this is
what,
how
how
bad
old is Lukey?
Bradbury is. He's got his line in, and I got mine about a metre from his, and he's not getting anything. I'm just going, yeah, on. Drop it back there, yeah, on.
The angle of the dangle.
Oh, yeah. No, too much trout fishing.
You just
Too
got
much
to
finesse.
You're just doing these.
The more spastic you look,
Yeah, just
Retrieving it.
flicking around.
it's got it's got a blade on the back with the two prong.
So you gotta get
and the
the
blades
blades
going
spinning.
between the back.
Yeah.
And like, I thought colour was a thing. He had one. Shammy had one that I don't know how he never lost it.
I did end up losing it. It was a bit
Yeah.
sad. It should have
Should-
went on the wall.
The paint had come off and the enamel coating underneath had come off back to lead,
Yeah.
and they were still biting it.
That's enough fish.
So what's that?
Yep.
Just the movement and the shimmer of it.
Yeah.
Well, there was no shimmer left on this.
No, there was
That was just the blade.
Yeah, right.
I had the hooks replaced 3 or 4 times.
This is grandfather's axe.
Yeah.
Oh,
They
yeah, it
have
was a
been
pretty
insane,
sad
though,
day
those.
when I lost it. It was like,
Oh, was it? A little tear, wasn't it?
yeah.
Oh, that was the good one. I should have retired that last week.
You didn't try and send kids. Right.
I had the hooks replaced 3 or 4 times.
This is grandfather's axe.
Yeah.
Oh,
They
yeah, it
have
was a
been
pretty
insane,
sad
though,
day
those.
when I lost it. It was like,
Oh, was it? A little tear, wasn't it?
yeah.
Oh, that was the good one. I should have retired that last week.
You didn't try and send kids down to go and get it.
There's a lot of them because they don't come back up.
No.
Yeah.
No, because see, most of the stuff I've got is sink.
Yeah.
Because you're fishing deep water here all the
Yeah.
time. So everything sinks. Or slow sink or medium sink, but it's all sink. That's the only problem. Or it's a bigger problem when you don't lose it, but the person replaces theirs out of your box.
A lot of ceiling watching, right?
Yeah.
Communal tackle box, isn't it?
Yeah, apparently so.
Well, Jet thought it was, he just wouldn't go in that far, would he?
No. No.
Actually, I tried that gulp slime. Have you tried that?
No, not yet.
The powdered thing?
Apparently it's pretty sticky stuff.
Well, I left the lure in Shammy's car. I let that dry out a bit. It just looks like that, that Chinese massage oil stuff you see online. It's like stringy and... it's like stringy slime it is, wet slime. So you dunk it in, it's powder.
Yeah.
Shake it.
Yeah,
I just dunked the tail of the swim bait in it.
Guys have been talking about it, and I said, no, I haven't used it yet, no.
I reckon I probably did 20 casts with the swim bait. And then when I brought it out, it was like, I got it 2 metres out of the water. I don't know how you didn't catch a fish on that. But
No.
With that scent, like, it would have been...
And it smells like the scent's
scent
good.
works, yeah.
I've always used the squeezy one. Well, I seen that the other day when I was at the shop, and I'm like, nah, something different. So it'll be interesting to see how it goes out the weir this weekend on the reddies and that. Although I do need to get a yellow. Oh no, I've got to get a bloody cod.
If you're looking for a scent that nobody uses, a little bit of me secret tip, nobody's listening to this late at night. So good.
They're all drunk on here.
There's a Eco Gear bring in and it's not a sponsor from me, but Eco Gear bring in a spray called Eggy Max. It's EGI. It's an actual aerosol spray. And
it's an aerosol?
Yeah, and it's squid scented. And, yellow belly, absolutely cream for it.
Did you write that down?
Eggy. I think Complete Angler used to sell it. I had to get it from Complete Angler in Geelong because it was really hard to get posted.
What's it called?
Aerosol.
Eggy
Max. EGI.
And it's a squid scent.
Squid scent.
So I bring in like the equivalent to power bait.
Yep.
And like some like the cheese flavoured and stuff like that.
Yep, the squid
scent. I have seen the squid and they had some other random ones.
When you're spraying your lure in front of you and you get a whiff to it, it just smells like squid.
Yeah, glow one as well.
Yeah. But the yellow can's the plain scent.
Yep.
That's my big fishing tip for everyone.
Yeah, righto. Yeah, it's funny because I used to get the Ultra. No. Remember the Ultra you used to get years ago? I don't know if they still... I haven't seen it.
Do. Yeah.
I accidentally cracked the bottle and put it all over the bottom of Shammy's boat.
Yeah.
Smells gone now. But
it's a stain though.
no, it didn't stain. Didn't stain. He'd only make me replace the carpet anyhow. So, but no, we've had that. I used to put that on the trout stuff all on the plastic.
Yeah.
Used to smash them all the time, but now I use a bit of the gulp. Not getting but I know plenty of boys that are still using it, and it still makes a big difference because the plastics I bring aren't scented.
We love the glow for the cod at Moala.
Of the evening, or
but the yellows love the yellow can. So,
yeah, right. Might be something.
Is it 2 different cans?
Yeah, there's a green lidded can that's got UV in it.
Yep.
I use that for cod, and I've got the yellow one for yellows.
Yeah. Have to check that out.
Yeah.
Lasts for a long, long time. Like, I'll buy a can every 2 years, and I use it for all my tournaments. You only need to just spray it.
Yeah.
Huh.
Don't have to
What's a can worth?
$35.
Yeah.
Oh, that's nothing.
But they're tiny cans.
It's 80 mil, I think.
2 years worth of work in a tournament. That's not.
Yeah.
That's
half the size of that.
Yeah. So about 300 mil.
80, I think it said.
Oh. Yeah, because the aerosol inside. Yeah. Yeah, all right. Oh, that's a hot tip.
There's your hot tip.
Corey's hot tip. That'll be the last one you get. So, when's the next comp?
2 weeks' time, I'm down for the ABT at Blue Rock Glen Maggie's doubleheader.
Yep. 2 weeks' time. We should go down, Sham. Oh, no, I've got to organise bloody... That's the other problem. We're both committee at the fishing club. And February is our major 12-mile comp.
Yep.
So it takes a few weeks to organise. It'll be a different story next year. So I'm not going to be president.
Yeah.
I've done my time. I'm hoping someone will Biden me out of the situation.
Yeah.
You won't be that lucky.
No one's that dumb. No one's that dumb at the club that wants the job. So, that's all right. So that bass fishing only.
For for that weekend, it's all bass fishing. So
Yeah, you don't get any booby prizes for different species.
we actually there's a group of us about probably 10 of us that sort of we've got a little group chat that we love to hang a lot of garbage on each other and whatnot, and we've got a fake redfin trophy. For the last 3 years, we've been having a internal redfin comp. It's just $5 in, biggest ready wins.
Yep.
Last year we ended up with like 35 reddies back at camp, so I cooked it all up for all the Queenslanders, and they're like, all we want to do is come down and catch reddies. You know,
It's good eating fish.
Oh,
Yeah, and they're quick and easy to cook.
Yeah.
Bit of flour,
yeah.
bit of oil, done.
Yeah.
That's the beauty of it all.
So what was the biggest ready he's got?
42, I think it was. Yeah.
It's not bad.
I sent a 50 today on Facey.
It's been a few.
So
Big
I'm like,
fish. Jeez, they're quite hard at 50.
be good fun. It'd be almost at that stage where you're like, ugh, it's a big girl, probably should put it back.
Hey, you're looking at it almost going, I might get that one put on the wall, 50 centimetres.
Oh, it'd stink after a while.
Yeah. Once it stopped rotting, it'd be all right.
Wouldn't look very impressive. Are you doing a bloody Addams Family portrait or something, mate?
Something like that.
And you can't mount it. You seen how they mount them down in Tassie? That joke's not going to get old.
Oh, no, that's
Portrait or something, mate.
something like that.
And you can't mount portrait or something, mate.
Something like that.
And you can't mount it. You seen how they mount them down in Tassie? That joke's not going to get old.
Oh, no, that's
I'm going to get on as soon as I definitely. You don't even need to be.
Yeah.
This crew's renowned for bragging.
Yeah.
If you can just brag about how much you drank and how much
Yeah, I
fun
can
you
do
had.
that.
'Cause
Yeah. That's all we do.
we won
like-
the Dart Cup, and I reckon we would have won the best drinkers that first year.
easily most consumed for four people.
We're the last to leave.
Yeah, and we had to buy the rest of the beer out of the pub, so and sat outside with their own grog. True team players.
Yeah.
So, all right then. Thanks for coming in, everyone.
Good evening and good night.
That's not your catch. Is that your new
No.
catchphrase? Is it?
No, I don't know.
What was your what's name?
Hey?
Hope your fish are big and plentiful.
Yeah. Yeah, that'll do. Oh, come on, Alan. What have you got?
Fish on.
On where?
Not on my line.
Righto, everyone. Have a great night. God bless. You love that.
Just gets me an atheist saying that.
Yep. Huh? There's a lot of religious people out there. It's an old people's station.
Righto.
People,
Righto.
Push the button, mate.
you can
Push the
still be
button.
nice
Enough.
towards people.
No,
You can
no.
still be nice
Time
towards
to go.
people.
You're going to offend someone.
Push the button.
That's what she said.
Good night.
All my friends don't go fishing.